The LAPD is shutting down its sex crimes unit, and that could put some of the city's most complicated unsolved cases in jeopardy. I-Team reporter Eric Leonard has new information about some serial predators still being hunted and why one retired detective says this specialized unit needs to stay.
The detective group we're talking about is part of the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, which typically brings together the city's most experienced investigators to work on the most challenging cases. With sex crimes, it's a unique area of police work that requires care with trauma victims and an extensive understanding of the law in order to bring the cases from crime scenes to courtrooms.
I really hope that the chief can rethink this.
Carla Zuniga says she's worried for the victims of horrifying sex crimes and all LA residents now that a final decision has been made by LAPD Chief Moore to close the specialized sex crimes unit at the Robbery Homicide Division because of budget cuts.
So the sexual assault unit, this is one of the cutbacks that we're doing, one of the realignments.
When we first reported the cuts last week, the chief told the I-Team these cases will still be investigated, but at neighborhood police stations. Zuniga, who retired in 2018 after 14 years in the sex crimes unit, says these most urgent and complex cases won't get the same kind of attention.
There may only be one person working. There's no way that one person can do a very complex investigation where a suspect's been identified and there's a manhunt. That just won't happen.
The RHD unit being closed has been instrumental in catching and prosecuting some of LA's most terrifying predators. The men who robbed this Nordstrom rack near LAX in 2013 and sexually assaulted some of the women they took hostage. The drug-addicted child rapist who kidnapped a 10-year-old girl from her bedroom in Northridge and assaulted her in vacant homes nearby, later sentenced to life in prison. 2 LAPD narcotics officers who were raping women in Hollywood, and the unit is involved in current high-profile prosecutions, including the arrest of former USC campus doctor George Tyndall, accused of abusing hundreds of college student patients, and the rape prosecution in LA of movie producer Harvey Weinstein.
I think to take away from a unit from Robbery Homicide Division is an absolute injustice.
And multiple law enforcement sources have told the I-Team the open, unsolved cases are just as worrying. A serial rapist who's been attacking women waiting for rides outside clubs and bars. Another serial rapist who's been attacking women in South LA for decades. And a child rapist recently linked to a brutal 2013 attack on a 6-year-old girl in the San Fernando Valley. The detectives from this group will be reassigned after January 1st, and some of them will continue to work on sex crimes, but with a higher caseload. And some victims and survivors advocates who did not want to appear on camera tell us they're dumbfounded and say they hope the LAPD can find a way to restore funding. I'm investigative reporter Eric Leonard, NBC4 News.